Hello friends, so in this video we are going to swap two numbers using XOR operation without using third variable. So I am going to name a file as swap.c. I'm going to include standard input output header file. I'm declaring main function here, int main, returning 0 at the end of the main function, and I am declaring these variables num1 equal to 5 and num2 equal to 8. So the smaller values are better to do the XOR operation. That's why I've taken the smaller values for num1 and num2. So num1 is 5 and num2 is 8. So after that, we are going to print those values in the printf statement. That is before swapping num1 equal to %d and num2 equal to %d and giving slash n character here. That is next line character, and we have to give the values to it. That is num1 and num2. And after that we are calling this swap function and we are passing this values by reference, that is address of num1 and address of num2 to the function. So as we have not declared this swap function, we have to declare it just above this main function. So we will keep return type of the swap function as a void, and then we are catching these parameters, arguments passed to this swap function in this parameters, that is value at num1 and int value at num2. So the first line of operation in the swap function is value at num1 equal to value at num1 XOR value at num2. So this symbol represents XOR operation, which is on the keyboard uh, number 6. So just on the keyboard it is on the number 6, so you will find it. The number 6 is on just above the letter T and Y. So there it is, this symbol represents XOR operation. So what is happening in this XOR operation, for the better understanding I'll just open this truth table and accordingly we'll do that. So I'll make it as always on top, so you will always be able to see this truth table. So this this is an logical operation, I mean bitwise operator. So this operation is done on bits of these numbers num1 and num2. So on the bit level, this 5, this num1 is represented as 5. So 5 is represented as 0 1 0 1. So this bit pattern represents 5, and this num2, which is 8, is represented as 1 triple 0. So this bit pattern represents 8. So whatever happening in the XOR operation is here. So whenever both the numbers are 0, then output will be 0. When one of the number is 1, output is 1. So in the both the middle cases, that is 0 1 or 1 0, output is 1. And whenever both the numbers are same, output is 0. So that operation we have to do here. So we have to do the operation, that is 0 1 is 1, 1 0 is 1, 0 0 is 0, and 1 1 1 0 is 1. So final result of this bit pattern is stored in num1. So num1 is having this value, so which you can convert, and you can we can also find the value of this is equal to addition of this, that is 8 plus 5 equal to 13. So on the decimal number it is equal to 13. So on the second operation what we have to do is num2 equal to value at num1 XOR, which is on the number 6 on the keyboard, and XOR num1 XOR value of num2. So here we have to do again that same operation of XOR, and here as value of num1 is modified on the first line, so that value we have to consider on this second statement. So value of num1 is 1101, and value of num2 is this, as it is not getting modified in the function, that is 1000. So on this both number we have to do the XOR operation. So here we have to consider that. So whenever the number are 1 1, bit pattern is 1 1, output is 0. So output is 0. Whenever bit pattern is 1 0, it is 1. Whenever bit pattern is 0 0, it is 0. And whenever it is 1 0, so it is 1. So this value is stored in num2, and the decimal value of this num2 is equal to 5. So on the third line, what we have to do is the same operation, that is num1 equal to num1 XOR, which is on the number 6 on the keyboard, and num1 XOR num2. So here we have to give semicolon, and here also we have to give semicolon. So here value of num1 is still the value which is getting modified on the first line. So that value we have to consider, which is this value on the bit level. So value of num1 is 1101 XOR with value of num2. But the value of num2 is getting modified on this line, line number 8. So that value we have to consider, that is 0101, 0101. And again we have to check this XOR operation. So whenever it is 1 0, it will be 1, 1 1 will be 0, 0 0 will be 0, and 1 1 will be 0. So final value of num1 will be equal to 8 on the uh, decimal number line. So that way the function is completed, and we will just print the value of num1 and num2 after calling that function. So I'm giving here after, and after that I'm saving this code, and I'm opening this in the integrated terminal, and we have to compile it using gcc swap.c, and then press enter, and you will see an executable file is created, that is a.out, which can be executed using /a.out. And after pressing enter, you will see that before calling that swap function, num1 was 5 and num2 was 8, and after calling that swap function, num1 is 8 and num2 is 5. So the values of this num1 and num2 are getting swapped, so which you can analyze in this function. So whenever that function was getting called, value of num1 here is 5 and the value of num2 is 8. But after doing these operations, you will see on this 8 line, value of num2 is getting 5 and value of num1 is getting as equal to 8 on this 12th line. So in that way, using this XOR operation, uh, values between two numbers are getting swapped. So which is which is also done using without third variable. So this is the code you can do to swap two numbers using XOR operation. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more videos.